Happy 2018, everyone. I'm Natasha Lekwa, standing in for Emily Drury this week on Forbes Flash. Let's get started. The value of cryptocurrencies went through the roof in 2017 to more than $600 billion, welcoming many holders into the Millionaires Club. A few even joined the Triple Comma Club and now rank among the wealthiest in America, including the current and former CEOs of Ripple, a San Francisco-based company that uses blockchain technology in international financial transactions and issues a token called XRP. As of January 1st, when XRP had a market capitalization of $88.9 billion, the co-founder and former CEO of Ripple, Chris Larsen, netted $37.3 billion, tying him with former Microsoft CEO Steve Ballmer on our 2017 Forbes 400 list. Millions of PCs with Intel chips may be affected by massive vulnerabilities. The bug called Meltdown is a flaw that essentially melts security boundaries and allows one program to read another's memory, which is normally prevented by hardware. Intel has issued a statement denying Meltdown will impact performance. However, the statement also recommended users download software updates as soon as they are available within the next week. Now for a quick rundown of our biggest stories this week. Forbes Under 30 listmakers Sean Henry and Jacob Bourdreau are building an on-demand warehouse service for companies competing with Amazon. Their startup Stored uses software to connect businesses in need of storage and distribution to independent warehouses with excess capacity. The startup is small, with less than $1 million in revenue for 2017, but the co-founders expect over $4 million in sales next year as the company takes on seed funding to expand. With warehousing and distribution being a $163 billion industry worldwide, it seems like there's space for these young entrepreneurs to make their mark. NBC announced Hoda Kotb will now permanently replace Matt Lauer on Today, co-hosting alongside Savannah Guthrie. Lauer's $20 million annual salary was the largest of any morning show host. Today has historically been one of NBC's strongest profit drivers, bringing in between $450 and $500 million annually in ad revenue, with the largest cost being talent. Kotb will surely get a raise with the new role, but nowhere near Lauer's paycheck, despite hosting an hour more of the show than he did. It is cold out there. The cold bomb is targeting the Northeast, and natural gas demands are hitting records. Boston hasn't seen a cold spell like this since 1872. Tallahassee, Florida, saw its first snow in 28 years, and the ice cover on the Great Lakes is rapidly expanding. To combat the frigid temperatures, power plants are burning a record amount of natural gas, 143 billion cubic feet per day, compared to the 2014 polar vortex, which used 125 billion cubic feet per day. In Boston, natural gas for prompt delivery exploded in price to $35 per million British thermal units, making it the most expensive gas market in the world. NFL playoffs dominated television ratings in 2017, with the Super Bowl, NFC, and AFC championship games beating out Trump's congressional address, which placed fourth in viewership. Despite the NFL losing 9% of its audience and all the political turbulence in 2017, the league managed to take the top 3 spots, leading to their huge $1.5 billion streaming deal with Verizon. Joining us now is Forbes media and entertainment reporter Maddie Berg to talk about the 2018 Golden Globes.
So the 75th Annual Golden Globes are on Sunday. Seth Meyers is hosting for the first time. We're going to take a look at the nominees and who we think is going to win. If you look at the box office and the nominees, there's not much correlation. Movies like Star Wars, Beauty and the Beast, and Wonder Woman, which had huge domestic grosses, did not make the cut, whereas smaller films and more independent films like The Shape of Water, The Post, and Lady Bird did make the cut, and that's kind of typical. On the TV side of things, though, you do see popularity and awards more in line. Game of Thrones received a number of awards. Big Little Lies, which got huge ratings for HBO, received a number of awards. This Is Us, one of the most popular shows on broadcast TV, had a nomination or two. So that's kind of more correlation than on the film side. For something like the Emmys, the budget really does affect the nomination just because bigger, they're just more categories, right? So special effects, for example, that is entirely in correlation with the budget. But the Emmys really focuses on actors, actresses, directors, and best show. So in that case, not really. You know, something like Big Little Lies did have a substantial budget, and Game of Thrones obviously had a huge budget. But Stranger Things, for example, it doesn't have a huge budget. And there's some shows on FX that received a number of awards that didn't have huge budgets. So 2017 was a really dark year for Hollywood, starting in October when the sexual misconduct allegations came out against Harvey Weinstein. It's really been one Hollywood titan after another has been falling under these allegations. 2018, the Golden Globes, this is the first award show since then. It's going to be a really interesting tone, but it kind of might be a hopeful tone. I think the women of Hollywood have really mobilized, and some men as well. There's the Time's Up movement, which was announced earlier this week. Time's Up is a movement that was announced on January 1st. It was founded by some of the leading women in Hollywood, including Reese Witherspoon, Shonda Rhimes, Ashley Judd, America Ferrera, and it's devoted to fighting sexual harassment and assault and inequality, not only in Hollywood, but kind of in every industry in America. So they've established a legal defense fund, and they've already reached the goal of raising $15 million for that fund. And they also have some other initiatives, like wearing black at the Golden Globes, for example. You'll see a lot of women and men even on the red carpet in all black as kind of a tribute to the women who have been mistreated in the industry. Shape of Water was the most nominated film. It received 7 nominations, and it will definitely receive a number of awards. Critics have loved the film. For a small independent film, it has done pretty well at the box office. It's at around $16 million domestically at the moment. And it will definitely win at least Best Director, Best Actress, Best Film Drama. That's what we're kind of predicting at the moment. In terms of comedy films, Lady Bird has been a real hit this year. It's grossed over $30 million at the domestic box office, which is a real win for Greta Gerwig, the director and the writer of the film. And while she was not nominated, the film is likely going to win Best Comedy Film, and Saoirse Ronan, who is nominated for Best Actress, will probably win that category. One kind of ironic part of the Golden Globes is that inequality and gender inequality in Hollywood has been such a hot topic, but if you look at the nominees, that didn't really come through. None of the Best Director nominees for a film are women. That overlooked Patty Jenkins of Wonder Woman and Greta Gerwig of Lady Bird, who are 2 people who definitely could have been nominated. So just like at the Emmys, Big Little Lies is set to sweep a lot of the TV fields, including Best Limited Series, Best Limited Series Actress, Best Limited Series Supporting Actress. The show was nominated for 6 awards, more than any other show, and it's probably going to win almost everything in the Best Limited Series category. In terms of other TV winners, we have The Marvelous Miss Maisel. That's an Amazon comedy, and it's a new show that has really gotten great reviews, and it's really will be a big kind of coup for Amazon, which has been struggling in the awards categories this year. On the drama side, The Handmaid's Tale, which did really well at the Emmys, is likely to win a handful of awards as well, which is, like for Amazon, a big deal for Hulu. HBO was the most nominated of the networks and the streaming services this year, with 12 awards. Netflix was second. It got 9 nominations, but it probably won't win that many. We're expecting the most wins to come from HBO with Big Little Lies, and as well as Amazon and Hulu with The Handmaid's Tale and The Marvelous Miss Maisel. So for the first time, one of Forbes' billionaires, Oprah, who is worth $2.8 billion, won the Cecil B. DeMille Award. It's a Lifetime Achievement Award. And Meryl Streep won it last year and made waves with that speech. So we're all on the edge of our seats waiting to hear what Oprah has to say.
Thanks for having me this week. Emily will be back next week for another episode of Forbes Flash. Tweet us your feedback at #ForbesFlash and stay warm out there.